I got bored while studying for a test, so here's a probability that Polypuff completes his ARAM challenge in 170 games, the minimum required, and the expected amount of games it will actually take him. I'm going to make some basic assumptions, because this is just not feasible if I don't. First, I'm assuming that each player rerolls once a game for a total of 10 champions Poly can choose from. I'm also assuming that his teammates will let him pick any of the champions that come up, because obviously all League players are very kind-hearted individuals. Yeah, right. This also ignores all dodge games because they're not real. With these conditions, the first 9 games Polypuff plays, he is guaranteed to play a new champion, so you can ignore the probability for those. The 10th game is different, however, as Poly has the chance to roll the 9 champions he's already played plus Bard, who is effectively the same as one he's already played, because he has to play him again at the end of the challenge. Games 169 and 170 also have the same chance, as the final game requires him to play Bard, and 169 requires him to only play the one other champion left that isn't Bard. To calculate the probabilities that Poly will get a new champion in a game, given the number he's already played, we can use combinations. This is how I calculated the chance that it only requires 170 games to play all 170 champions. Multiplying the chances for each game, it turns out there is a 1 in 3 billion chance that Poly can do this in 170 games. When I told him this, he was incredibly optimistic.
That's a 1 in 3 billion chance? This is the universe. This is the world where it's gonna happen, I swear.
But how many games will it actually take Poly to complete this challenge? It's way too hard to calculate any sort of distribution curve, and I can't be bothered, so the only thing I will calculate is the expected number of games it will take him. This is the most likely value that it will take him, but this does not mean it is likely for him to get this number. The easiest way to do this is by calculating how many games it would take at each number of champions. For example, for the first 9 champions he plays, they are guaranteed to be different, so each champion will have an expected value of 1 game per champion. Afterwards, it will take more than 1 game on average to get a new champion. For example, when 149 champions have been played, Poly has a 70.4% chance to get a new champion, giving an expected value of 1.42 games played to move from 149 to 150 champions. The final game, where he plays Bard, has a 1 in 17 chance of getting Bard, so he'd have to play an expected 17 games to get Bard. Summing all these expected games gives an expected number of 257 games. Realistically, it'll probably take him from 200 to 350 games, but I'm not doing the math to find that one out. Editing Teo here, I have accidentally calculated for 171 games with 171 champions instead of 170. However, this is gonna take long enough that another champion's getting released, so the chances are still the same.